All right, and we are live. Good evening po sa inyong lahat back there in the Philippines. Na-miss ko kayong lahat, na-miss natin tong ating live stream. And of course, this is actually our 94th live stream video. 94th na po ito sa ating live stream video sa ating playlist dyan sa ating YouTube channel. If this is your first time to watch us, make sure that you indicate that through your comment. Ilagay niyo po sa ating comment box that this is your first time to join us in our live stream, that you are a newbie. It might be on our Facebook page or it might even be on our YouTube channel. Make sure that you like this video. If you are watching us on YouTube, i-like nyo na po itong ating video. And of course, if you are watching us on Facebook, pwede nyo pong i-share ang ating video, start a watch party, tag your friends, para of course maka-reach out po tayo no sa mas marami pang guro na or mga nangangarap na maging gurong Pinoy. And of course, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also follow our Facebook page so that whenever we post something new, you are going to be the first to be notified. Okay? So again, please do make sure that you like this video. I-like na po yung ating video. If you are watching us on YouTube, mag-like na po kayo ng ating video. And of course, sa ating mga team Facebook, no, mag-share kayo ng ating video, like our video, start a watch party, tag your friends. And of course, we are going to have 20 items for general education tonight. Okay? Now, before we start with anything, of course, we start with our opening prayer. So please join me po sa ating opening prayer.
Lord, salamat po sa opportunity na ibinigay mo sa bawat isa sa amin. Ikaw po ay tapat mula noon hanggang ngayon. Nagpapasalamat po kami sa labis na pagmamahal mo sa bawat isa sa amin. Lord, sana po ay samahan mo po kami muli sa amin pong pag-aaral sa oras na ito. Pagkalooban mo po kami ng karunungan upang mas lalo po naming maunawaan ang mga leksyon na aming aaralin. Opo, Ama, basbasan mo din po ang aming mga mahal sa buhay. Tulungan din po na mapabuti ang kalagayan ng aming lugar. Protektahan ang mga magigiting naming mga frontliners. Ito po, O Diyos, ang aming mga kahilingan sa pamamagitan ni Jesus na aming Panginoon at tagapagligtas. Amen.
Amen. All right, now of course, we are still open for our enrollment. If you'd want to still join our Gurong Pinoy team, sa lahat ng ating Team Gardner members, kaway-kaway, no? If you are a member of Team Gardner, please do send us your thumbs up sign. Mag-thumbs up sign sa lahat ng mga members ng ating Team Gardner. Go ahead, mag-send po kayo ng thumbs up sign so that we can see that all of you are already here. Okay? Go ahead. Members ng Team Gardner, nasaan na kayo? Wala yatang Team Gardner ngayon. Newbie dito sa ating Team YouTube, Ma'am Jazz. Good evening po and welcome. Okay, nasa na yung members ng Team Gardner? Ayon, si Sir Agustin Adchakang. Member siya ng Team Gardner. What about dito sa ating Facebook? Saan yung mga members ng Team Gardner dito sa Facebook? Ma'am Joy Dairit, of course. Good morning po. Okay, Team Gardner, of course, ito yung ating Team Thunders, no? Ito yung ating Team Veterano, ito yung mga unang-unang naging member ng ating Gurong Pinoy, no? Gurong Pinoy team natin. They were used to have the name, Grow, no? Ito yung dating Grow natin. And of course, we started this a year ago, no? So July yata, no? Almost a year ago. July yata nag-start na tayo ng ating Grow. And of course, when we started with our Team Erickson, inalis na natin yung Grow and we changed their name into Team Gardner. Ayan, ang dami ko na nakikitang Team Gardner dito. Hello, good evening po. And of course, if you are a member of Team Erickson, please do send us your thumbs up sign sa mga member ng Team Erickson, no? Ito yung ating Team Newbies. Yung ating Team Bagito, yung mga ngayon lamang naging member, no? Maaring kahapon lamang naging member, or it might be January yata nag-start na tayong maglagay sa ating Team Erickson. Okay, good evening po sa inyong lahat. Hello, welcome back. Sa lahat ng ating mga supporters, maraming salamat, Ma'am Edna Ballesteros, Ma'am Joy Dairit. Sa mga nag-share ng video, nag-start ng watch party, maraming salamat po. Again, please do make sure that you share our video, start a watch party, you tag your friends, so that of course we can reach out to more people. Hello, Thunders. Sabi ni Sir Aladdin Kalot dito. All right, now of course, if you are still not a member of any of these teams, no, of Team Gardner and Team Erickson, pwede pa rin po kayo maging member, no? How do you enroll? How can you become a member of our Gurong Pinoy teams? We are still accepting enrollees for our Let September 2021 program. Your basic membership, that's only Gen Ed and Prof Ed, that's 1,250. For pro membership, that's majorship, that's 1,500. For our majorship, we have English, Filipino, social science, biology, math, and MAPE. Okay, so kung ganyan po yung inyong major, meron po tayong programs for you. Okay, and of course, we also have our premium membership, Gen Ed, Prof Ed, and majorship. That's all in, that's 2,500. But then again, we still have our promo. Okay, hanggang ngayon po, meron pa rin po tayong promo. So, you can just send a message to our Gurong Pinoy page, no, sa ating Facebook page. Mag-send lamang po kayo ng message, magtanong kayo kung paano mag-enroll. Dahil hanggang ngayon po, meron pa rin tayong enrollment, no, yung ating biggest sale that is just 500 pesos. Okay, so 500 lamang po for basic membership, 500 din sa pro membership natin, and of course, premium membership, that's all in, that's only 850. Okay, so again, please do grab the chance. Huwag kayong maghintay, no, hanggang maubusan na naman kayo ng promo, matapos na naman yung promo, bago kayo mag-decide na mag-enroll. Okay, so again, this is still in preparation for your LET in September 2021. Now, for my bio babies, I will be having your, we will be seeing each other, you know, so hindi pa ako nag-upload ng 11, ng video nyo for 11 and 12, because I plan to meet all of you, okay? It might not be this month, okay? We still have a lot of time. It might be sa summer, no? Sa summer na, pag wala na akong pasok. All right, so again, these are our payment, 1,250 for basic, 1,500 for pro membership, 2,500 for premium membership. That's without discount, but with discount right now, you only pay 500 for your basic, 500 for pro, and of course for premium, that's only 850. Okay, so again, please do grab the chance, and I'm pretty sure that you are not going to regret being a member of Gurong Pinoy teams. Okay, now, as I've mentioned, maraming salamat po sa ating mga supporters. Hello, Sir Edmark Padernal. Maraming salamat. He's watching right now. He is one of our let passers, no? In 2018 ba kayo, Sir Edmark? 2016 na batch. Okay, so Sir Edmark, good evening po. Now a licensed professional teachers. And what's very interesting about Sir Edmark, ilan nga kay Sir Edmark Day? I think three of them. Tatlo silang magkakapatid sa amin nag-review, and of course tatlo sila LPTs, okay? Pasensya na po. LPTs, lahat sila naging LPTs through our help, okay? So again, be like Sir Edmark and become an LPT through the help of Gurong Pinoy, okay? So hello po, Sir Edmark, good evening. I've seen that he has left a comment. Okay, so again, sa ating mga supporters, maraming salamat po. We appreciate your support, and of course, I will be making the next video, no, or our next slides para makapag-meet tayo. Now, this was our last meeting, and of course, we are going to have our supporters exclusive meeting, and this will be our next topic. Okay, so hintayin niyo lamang po. Whenever I post something for our supporters, it's only the supporters that can see our post. Okay, so if you want to become a supporter of Gurong Pinoy, there is a button there, no? Meron pong button dyan, malapit sa comment, malapit sa stars dito sa ating Facebook page. You can become a supporter. I think our supporters exclusive na membership is only $1.99. Okay, so that's 100 pesos every month. Okay, so again, if you can become a member of Gurong Pinoy supporters only team, go ahead and please do support Gurong Pinoy. Okay, now another thing for you, or another way for you to support us, of course, is by sending us your stars. Mag-send lamang po kayo ng stars, no? Yung ating star senders, maraming salamat. I've already seen a few of you sending your stars today. Thank you so much. Our goal is still at 10,000 stars. No, hindi po 1,000 stars. Usually 1,000 stars tayo. But now we still have our goal of 10,000 stars, and that is going to be for your Summer Fever 2021. No? So whatever fund that we can gather, that we can collect from your stars, we will be using that for your Summer Fever 2021. Balikan ko just in a few minutes yung ating Summer Fever, no? Let me just mention our star senders. Sir Odraleb Tenshin, sending 45 stars. Maraming salamat po. Ma'am Sheila Gitalan, our supporter, thank you so much. Maraming salamat for those of you who've already sent your stars. Let me take a look at your comments. Again, please do send us your stars so that we can also collect some of our funds para po sa ating Summer Fever. Okay, go ahead, send us your stars. Ma'am Najma Ra, sending 45 stars. Maraming salamat po. Ma'am Lizelle Bolivar Liboon, of course, one of our supporters. She also sent 55 stars. Thank you, Ma'am Lizelle. All right, so those are our star senders. Go ahead and please do send us your stars so that we can reach our stars goal of 10,000 stars for our Summer Fever. Now, in connection with our Summer Fever, now I've already posted our 9 groups. And so, please do make sure that you reach out to your group members. Mag-vault in na kayo, mag-meeting na kayo with your group members. I will be asking you to send me the leader's name later, and of course, the names of your participants in the particular category. So we are going to have Guru Pinoy Got Talent, where you can do singing, acting, poetry, and magic. That's an individual category. Meron na po akong nare-receive ng mga files now for Guru Pinoy Got Talent. Okay, now Dance Showdown, that's going to be a group competition, and of course, all the mechanics are already posted on our Gurung Pinoy Facebook page. We also have Mr. and Miss Gurung Pinoy 2021, where you are going to have your casual competition, talent gown. These are all recorded. Well, of course, your interview is going to be live. Okay, so again, these are our competitions that's going to be on the 15th of May. 2021. So of course, please do make sure that you send us your stars so that we can also have some funds for your prizes for our Summer Fever. Okay, so that's Summer Fever 2021, and that is going to happen on May 15th, 2021. Okay, so again, please do make sure that you send us your stars so that we can have or we can give you your prizes for Summer Fever. Okay, now another thing, of course, very important, our remaining live stream schedule for this month. Today is the 17th, so we are going to have your Gen Ed. Then, of course, on the 18th, tomorrow, we are going to have Prof Ed. Next weekend po, na both Saturdays and Sundays, we are going to have Gen Sci with Doc H. Your Saturday is going to start at 7 p.m. and of course your Sunday that is going to start at 6 p.m. Okay, so again, make sure that you take note of all these schedules that we have so that you can be guided. Now you won't be late. Okay, so you will be able to attend our live streams. You all know how important your live streams are now during our discussion. Okay, so again, these are still our remaining schedule for the month of April. All right, if you are ready, we are going to proceed to tonight's objective, which is to discuss our general education. There's 20 items that you have answered in your quizzes. If you're a member of our Gurung Pinoy teams, you have had answered this to your quizzes. And of course, all these materials that I'm using right now in our discussion, this would all go straight to our Gurung Pinoy teams. If you are not still a member of our Gurung Pinoy teams, again, please do send us a message on our Facebook page so that you can be guided on how to become a member, okay? Again, please do share this video, start a watch party, tag your friends before we start. For those of you who are watching us on YouTube, go ahead and like this video. YouTubers, Team YouTube, mag-like na po kayo ng ating video. Ang daming absent sa YouTube. Okay, good evening, good evening. Ang iba hindi na nagre-review, no? Nung nalamang September pa yung test, na-postpone na naman yung test. Yung iba hindi na nag-review. Okay, do not take that as a disadvantage. Dapat nga itinitake nyo yan as an advantage, no? Habang malayo pa yung let, nagpe-prepare na kayo, no? Huwag kayong paghinaan ng loob, huwag kayong mawala ng gana na hindi na kayo nagre-review. Dapat review kayo ng review all throughout the week, no? Kahit na wala tayong live stream, do not depend on our live stream. Marami tayong videos na nandyan na sa YouTube. even the videos that I'm posting on our Facebook page, no? Even yung videos na pinopost ko na galing sa klase ko dito, okay? So, again, please do make sure that you're watching something, you are reviewing, and of course, it's also very important that you make sure that the materials that you're using is credible, the materials that you're using are correct, no? Huwag namang review ng review tapos mali din naman yung nire-review, okay? So again, please do make sure that you continue with your review, don't stop, okay? Mas maraming oras, mas malayo pa yung let, mas maraming oras tayong mag-prepare, okay? So again, please make sure that you are continuing to prepare for your upcoming let. Okay? Trabaho, may trabaho si Sir Kenechi. Maraming salamat. Share na po ng ating video. Start a watch party. Tag your friends. Mag-send ng stars. Kung po pwede po kayo mag-send ng stars. Maraming salamat for those of you who have already shared the video. Ma'am Angie Habagat Pinaaling. Maraming salamat po. Okay, now we start with question number 1. Okay, pambungad, math. Okay, so question number 1, this is math, but it's very easy, no? Elementary math. What is the value of 3 1/3 divided by 2/3? Okay, what do you think is the correct answer here? Is it letter A, 3, letter B, 4, letter C, 5, letter D, 6? What's the answer for question number 1? Question number 1, ano po ang inyong sagot? Ano pong inyong sagot sa question number 1? Good evening po. Good evening. Sir June Ludan de la Cruz, watching from Baguio. Salamat, naka-attend na rin ako. Good evening po and welcome, Sir June. Ma'am K. Ashley Villarico, first time sumali na live. Okay, but I always watch your videos sa YouTube. Ang dami ko pong natutunan. Maraming salamat, Ma'am K. Villarico. Okay, good evening po sa inyong lahat. Again, what is your answer for question number 1? Okay, 1A. Ma'am Chari answered 1A. Ma'am K. Villarico answered C. Ma'am Charlene Kalinawan answered C. Okay, what about Team YouTube? What's your answer? Pinupush pa si Ma'am Tin na mag-ingay dito sa Team YouTube. Ma'am Tin, sabi ni Sir Aladdin, mag-ingay ka para masaya. Okay, ang dami nang hindi nagre-review, no? Nawala ng gana kasi malayo pa yung let. Ma'am Abigail Katapang, one of our supporters, maraming salamat po. Ma'am Marilyn Cortez, thank you for sharing our video. Okay, now some of you, Ma'am Vilma Olivar for sharing our video. Maraming salamat po. The answer sa ating Facebook, no, karamihan ng sagot sa Facebook ay C and A. No, so karamihan C and A. Good evening, Sir Alvin Santiago. Thank you for starting a watch party. Ganun din kay Ma'am Carla Angkahan. Okay? Now, dito sa ating Team YouTube, karamihan ng sagot nila ay letter C. Okay, what do you think is the correct answer? Ma'am Weasel Gay 5 Kwambot, one of our supporters. Maraming salamat po and good evening. All right, now taking a look at your given here, you are given a mixed number. Okay, so meron tayong mixed number dito. And of course, you have your fraction. No? So you have a fraction and you have a mixed number. And of course, you are asked to divide. Okay, divide your mixed number by your fraction here. Now, looking at your mixed number here, of course, what we need to do is to convert this to your improper fraction first, no? So, improper fraction mo muna ito. How do you convert this into your fraction? You simply multiply your whole number and the denominator. So, you multiply mo yung whole number by your denominator. Okay, and then of course, you add your numerator to the product. Okay, so what we do is we multiply these two first. That's 3 times 3, which of course would give us 9, plus 1, giving us 10 over 3. Okay, so that's your 10 over 3, which is of course the value, okay, which is also equal to your mixed number 3 and 1/3. Okay, so that's 10 over 3 divided by 2/3. Okay, so again, that's 10 over 3. Paano natin nakuha yung 10 over 3, no? that would be multiplying, that is through multiplying your whole number and your denominator. That's 3 times 3, and that would give us 9 plus 1, which is your numerator, so that would give us 10. Then, of course, you simply copy the denominator 3 here, okay? So that's 10 over 3. Now, we are asked to divide this by 2/3. So what you do, of course, is you can actually multiply that to the reciprocal of your 2/3, okay? So nakita nyo dito, multiplication na yung ating process. And of course, we are already using the reciprocal of your 2/3. Kabaliktaran na yung reciprocal ng 2/3 mo, which is of course 3 over 2. Okay, so that's 3 over 2. And now we are given just 10/3 multiplied by 3 halves. Okay, if you have questions, again, first, kinuha natin yung 10/3 from this. Okay, you multiply the denominator by your whole number. So 3 times 3 equals 9. Then you add the numerator 1. So that would, of course, give you 10. Okay, so kaya meron tayong 10 na numerator dito. And of course, you simply copy your denominator 3. Now, you are asked to divide this by 2/3. And what I did here was that I multiplied this by the reciprocal of 2/3, which is 3 halves. Okay, so that's our process. Now, by looking at your fractions here, you can actually write your fractions into their simplest term, no? So into their simplest term. How do you do that? You take a look at the numerator and the denominator of two different fractions, and you check whether they have their GCF, no? Ano yung GCF ng 10 and 2 mo. For 2, of course, you know that this is a prime number. Okay, which means that its factor would only be 1 and itself. Okay, so yung factor ng 2 mo would just be 2 and 1. Sa 10 mo, of course, you have 1, 10, you also have 2 and 5. So that means their GCF is 2. Okay, so you divide both of them by their GCF. So 2 divided by 2, of course, that is going to give you just 1. And 10 divided by 2, that of course would give us 5. Okay, so we are able to reduce them, no, by dividing them, both of them, the numerator of one fraction, the denominator of the other fraction, by their GCF. Now, looking at the other numerator here, the other denominator, you can see that these are the same number. Okay, they're just the same number, and so you can just divide them by the same number, no? So 3 divided by 3, that would give you 1. 3 divided by 3, that of course would still be 1. So now you are left with 5 over 1 times 1 over 1. 1 over 1, of course, you know, would just be equal to 1, no? Any fraction which has the same number for numerator and denominator, that fraction would just be equal to 1. Okay, so that leaves us with just 5 over 1, or simply that's 5. And so the correct answer here would be letter C. Okay, letter C po ang ating tamang sagot. Okay, letter C is the correct answer. Ma'am Judilyn Ruiz, thank you for sending us your pakape dito sa ating team YouTube. Again, number 1, letter C is the correct choice. Ma'am Judilyn, maraming salamat po. Now we go to number 2. An eagle is flying 30 feet above sea level and spots a fish swimming 2 feet below sea level. Okay, what does 0 represent in this situation? Is it letter A, the height of the eagle? Letter B, the ocean floor? Letter C, sea level? Letter D, the depth of the swimming fish? Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for question number 2? Okay, sabi ni Ma'am Chari Benban dito, mali ako, ganyan pala dapat. Now I know na, ma'am. Okay? Of course, no? Okay lang magkamali dito. Live stream pa lang naman to. Practice pa lang natin to, no? Of course, we still have a lot of time to prepare for your let. So again, don't waste your time habang may live stream. Every time na may live stream tayo, no? Kung hindi talaga kaya na mag-review kayo within the week, no? Kasi maraming ginagawa. For example, habang may live stream tayo, pag may live stream schedule tayo, make sure that you attend, no? Mag-attend po tayo. Okay? Maraming salamat for those of you who've already been sending your stars here. 50 stars from Weasel Gay 5, one of our supporters, no. Maraming salamat po. Ma'am Marife Sabadlab for sending 45 stars. Thank you so much. Okay, maraming salamat po. Again, please do send us your stars. This will be used for your summer fever. No, marami pa tayong stars na dapat bunuin. Hindi pa tayo nakaka-reach ng ating stars goal. Number 1 pa lang, ligwak na, sabi ni Ma'am Ye. Okay lang po yan, ma'am, no? Go lang ng go. Don't worry. It's okay to make mistakes. Kahit sa taong iniibig nyo, okay lang yan. Sabi nga ng Frog Prince, no? Kailangan muna ihalikan mo yung maraming palaka bago mo makita yung inyong Prince Charming. Okay, so do not be scared to make mistakes. Do not be afraid to make mistakes, no? That is, for me, that's the best way to learn. Okay? Kasi pag nasaktan ka, no? Pag nagkamali ka, natututo ka kaagad, no? Pwera na lang sa ibang tao, no? Ikaw, katulad mo, ilang beses ka na niyang sinaktan, balik ka pa rin ng balik, no? Di na natuto. Okay, number 2, C. Letter C, ang inyong sagot. Letter C dito sa ating Team Facebook at Team YouTube. Team YouTube, letter C din. Okay, letter C din ang sagot. And of course, that would be the correct answer. Okay, so tama iyang ating C level. C level, that is the correct answer here. And that would represent 0. Okay, so say you have your eagle. No, ito yung ating eagle. Okay, so the eagle is flying 30 feet above sea level. Okay, so that would be 30 feet. Okay, and suddenly the eagle spots a fish swimming 2 feet below sea level. Okay, and of course, this would be your sea level, and your fish is just 2 feet below sea level. Okay, so kunwari nandito ang inyong fish, and so of course the bird dives to get the fish. Now the question is, what does 0 represent in this situation? Of course, that is your point of reference, your line of reference, and so we know that that should be your sea level. That would be 0. Okay, so sea level, letter C, that is the correct choice. Okay, so letter C, tama kayo. All right, now we go to number 3. Rewrite the expression 5 multiplied by the quantity 6 plus 9 using the distributive property. Is it letter A, 30 plus 9? Letter B is 6 plus 45. Letter C, 30 plus 45. Letter D, 9 multiplied by the quantity 5 plus 6. What's the answer for number 3? Ma'am Ridzna Yahia. Maraming salamat po for sending 45 stars. For those of you who have already been sending who've already sent your stars, maraming salamat po, no? This again would still be used for your summer fever. So again, please do send us your stars. Mag-send na po kayo ng inyong stars so that you can all have your prizes for your summer fever. Wow, Ma'am Jen Banoy. True po yan, Ma'am Meg. Ako po, maraming beses nang nagkamali sa pag-ibig. No? Okay lang po yan, Ma'am Jen. May nakalaan para sa'yo. Basta't maghintay ka lamang, no? Welcome, Sir Patrick Francisco Navor. First timer yata, Sir Patrick, no? Hindi ko nakita yung comment ni Sir. Pero na-welcome siya ni Sir Kinechi, yung ating official welcome committee dito sa Team Facebook. Okay, maraming salamat, Sir Kinechi, for welcoming our newbies. Okay, maraming salamat po. Welcome, of course, sa ating mga newbies. Hello po. Welcome. Okay, number 3. What's your answer? Letter C ang sagot. Dito sa ating team YouTube, ganun din. Letter C din ang sagot. Sa tamang panahon, sabi ni Sir Aladdin Calot. Ma'am Jen, meron daw tamang panahon. Okay, correct answer here, of course, would be letter C. Okay, ano nga ba yung distributive property? You know this, napag-aralan nyo to nung kayo'y nasa grade 3, no, or grade 4. Okay, so you simply distribute the outside number here, no, the term that is found outside the quantity, you distribute that to those numbers that are inside your quantity, your parenthesis. Okay, and so you have 5 times 6 here, giving you 30. And of course, you have your 5 times 9 plus, or 5 multiplied by positive 9, giving you positive 45. Okay, so your answer here would be letter C. Letter C is the correct choice. Tama yung letter C. All right, now we go to number 4. The point 39 lies in which quadrant? Is it letter A, quadrant 1, letter B, quadrant 2, letter C, quadrant 3, or letter D, quadrant 4? What's the answer? Number 4, ano po yung tamang hinuha, no? Ano po yung inyong sagot? Number 4 na po tayo. Again, please do make sure that you like this video, start a watch party, tag your friends, share our video. Maraming salamat for those of you who have been sharing your video. Oy, maraming salamat, Ma'am Cherry Casido. She just sent 200 stars. Malaking tulong yan para ma-reach natin yung ating goal ng 10,000 stars. Maraming salamat po, Ma'am Cherry. Okay, go ahead. Please do send us your stars. Please send us your stars. Okay, number 4, you are answering letter A dito sa ating Team YouTube. What about Team Facebook? What's your answer for number 4? Okay, number 4 again, the 0.39 lies in which quadrant? Okay, sabi ng iba, abay malay ko, ano ba yung quadrant na yan, no? So ngayon malalaman natin kung ano itong quadrant. Okay, what do you think is the correct answer? What is the answer? C din ang sagot dito. Karamihang sagot dito sa Team Facebook ay letter C. Sa atin namang Team YouTube ay letter A. Oh wow, sabi ni Sir Emerson dito, Cap Emerson, kabisado ko po ito nung high school life ko. Kailan po yon, Cap? Kailan po yon, Cap? Ma'am Tin, kailan kaya yon? Okay, so again, yung ating Team Facebook, no, karamihan sagot letter C. Dito naman sa Team YouTube, karamihan sagot ay letter A. The correct answer, of course, would be letter A. Letter A, no? Quadrant 1 ang ating sagot. Hindi po B, hindi po C, hindi po D. Bakit? Okay, if you are looking at your Cartesian plane, no? This, of course, was the product of the study of René Descartes, no? And of course, you have your y-axis and your x-axis, and you have the different, for example, na meron kang different coordinates. No? If your x coordinate is positive and your y coordinate is also positive, that means you can find that point. You can find that point at or on quadrant 1. No? So dito siya. Say, for example, 2, yung value mo, for example, ay 2 and 1. Okay, so 2 and 1, for example, that means that is going to be here. 2 for x is here, and 1 for y is here, positive 1. And so your point is going to be here. That means that would be found on quadrant 1. Okay, so quadrant 1, that is why quadrant 1, no, yung ating letter A, yan po yung ating sagot. Now, if your x coordinate is negative, your y coordinate is positive, that means you will find that point in quadrant 2. Okay? Pag yung x mo ay negative kasi, these are the negative values for x. These here are the positive values for y. Okay? So that means dito mo makikita yung point mo. Okay? Pag pareho silang negative, that point can be seen on quadrant 3. If your x is positive but your y is negative, that point can be seen on quadrant 4. Okay? So again, kaya po nasa quadrant 1 because both of them are positive. Okay? So tama yan. Quadrant 1, nakalimutan na, sabi ni Ma'am Morgan de los Santos. Okay? Mali ang sagot, nakalimutan na to. Okay, so again, your answer there should have been letter A, quadrant 1. All right, now we go to number 5. In January, this is general information. In January, the Bank of England released a new 20-pound note with J.M.W. Turner's face on. Who's he? Okay, is it letter A, is he a famous painter? Letter B, the Queen's pastry chef? Letter C, the Mayor of London? Or letter D, the guy who invented the trampoline? Okay, what do you think is the correct answer? 1996, sabi dito ni Cap Emerson. 1996, so nasa high school siya. The same batch sila, magka-batch pala sila ni Ma'am Marilo Pilanga. Batchmate sila. All right, what do you think is the correct answer for number 5? Who is J.M.W. Turner? Okay, his face was placed on a 20-pound note in England. Okay, samot-sari yung ating sagot. Iba-iba yung sagot. Sabi dito ni Ma'am Charlene Kalinawan, Diyos ko, di ko to alam, hula-hula na lang. Cap Emerson, sabi dito ni Sir Migs Orcales sa YouTube. Kapapanganak ko lang po yon, sir. Peace daw. Okay, now what do you think is the correct answer here? Is it letter A, a famous painter, letter B, the Queen's pastry chef, letter C, the mayor of London, or letter D, the guy who invented the trampoline? Okay, maraming nang hula, no? Maraming hula lang. Okay, correct answer here is letter A. He was a famous painter. Okay, so letter A here for number 5. Ito po yung tamang sagot. Okay, so this right here is J.M.W. Turner. Okay, so if you see this in the left, your answer would be painter. Okay, sabi dito ni Sir Kineche, parang painter kasi madaming painters doon eh. Maraming painters sa UK. Alright, then we go to number 6. Where were the 2020 Olympics supposed to be held? Is it in letter A, Beijing, letter B, Tokyo, letter C, Taipei, or letter D, Kuwait City? Where should have been the venue for 2020 for the 2020 Olympics? Okay, I'm pretty sure you know this, no? You've seen this in the news. Tama yung hula ni Ma'am Say or ni Ma'am Sai Oriel. Alright, number 6 na tayo. What's your answer? Tama ang hula ni Ma'am Angie Pinaaling. Madam Auring. Patay na si Madam Auring, no? Sumalangit nawa. Tama yung inyong hula. Si ano na ngayon? Si Rudy Baldwin. No, marami pa rin naniniwala sa hula. Alright, number 6. What do you think is the correct answer? Is it Beijing, Tokyo, Taipei, or Kuwait City? Where should have been the venue for the 2020 Olympics? We all know that this has been postponed because of COVID-19, no? Because of the pandemic. Okay, so saan kaya sana yung naging venue ng 2020 Olympics kung hindi nagka-pandemic? Okay, what do you think is the correct answer? Ma'am Nilay Suarez Calamba, thank you po for sharing our video. What's your answer? Letter B, letter B. Letter B ang sagot. Ganon din dito sa ating team YouTube. Okay, Sir Josh Navarro, maraming salamat. Hi, newbie here from Maramag, Bukidnon. Welcome po, Sir Josh, sa team YouTube. Okay, now, what do you think is the correct answer? Correct answer, of course, here would be letter B, Tokyo. Okay, so Tokyo 2020, ganyan yung kanilang logo, no? It's pretty interesting na ngayon po tuloy na siya, no? I have just seen on the internet, nakita ko kagabi no, sa internet, tuloy na, tinatawag pa rin siyang Tokyo 2020. And of course, this would start in July. So sa July, no, magsa-start na yung Tokyo 2020 Olympics. So tuloy na. Kahit dito sa amin, maraming nang hindi nagmamask masyado kasi nga maraming nang vaccinated. Okay, so since siguro meron ng vaccines, kaya itutuloy na nila itong Tokyo 2020 Olympics. Okay, now number 7, what does WHO stand for? Is it letter A, Well Healthy Opportunity, letter B, World Health Organization, letter C, World Health Occupation, or letter D, World Hub Order? Okay, what's the answer? Very easy. You know this, no? Samut-sari, no? Halos araw-araw yata naririnig nyo to sa TV, sa news, sa radio, no? Kahit sa internet, nakikita ito. Ma'am, pa-shout out dito sa Gingoog City, Misamis Oriental. Marami kami nakaabang sa live mo. Maraming salamat po, Ma'am Angie Pinaaling. Hello sa mga taga Gingoog City, Misamis Oriental. Hindi pa po kami nakakapunta dyan, no? In the future, pagtapos na yung pandemic, pwede tayong gumala ulit. Wow, Sir Kineche, Tokyo, kasi nag-training kayo doon. Alright, now what do you think is the correct answer for number 7? What is WHO? Okay, very easy. This, of course, is common knowledge. The correct answer, of course, would be letter B. That's the World Health Organization. Marahil ay pinakasikat na organisasyon ngayon, no? Maliban sa UN. No, World Health Organization, because of course of your pandemic. Okay, now number 8, a virus infects a host in order to, this is still in connection to your number 7 question. Letter A, take in nutrients. Letter B, make the host sick. Letter C, make copies of itself. Letter D, destroy the host cells. Okay, what do you think is the main objective of a virus? Why does it infect the host? Okay, what is the correct answer? Shout out from Kawit, Cavite, Sir Mark Robinson Kudal Nazareno. Hello po, good evening. Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for number 8? Ano yung tamang sagot sa number 8 dito? Ano yung pinaka-purpose ng virus? Bakit siya nang i-infect? Is it to take in nutrients? Is it to make the host sick? Is it to make copies of itself or to destroy the host cells? Pa-shout out from Lucena City, Sir Gier Driz. Good evening po, Sir Gier. Welcome back. Watching from Capiz, Ma'am Evelyn Gadong Satonero. From Ipil, Zamboanga Sibugay, Sir Adolfo Pimentel Mari. Good evening po. Okay, what's your answer for number 8? Aba, number 8, samut-sari yung sagot, no? Hindi na naman kayo nagkakasundo. Karamihang sagot sa number 8 ay D or B. Okay, so letter D or B. Ano kaya yung tamang sagot? What do you think is the correct answer for question number 8? Is it D or B? Good evening po, Sir Rustan Dumasig from Pasay City. Good evening po. Okay, correct answer here is... I think this is going to be a genocide, no? Maraming maliligwak dito. Is it letter A, to take in nutrients? Letter B, to make the host sick? Letter C, to make copies of itself? Or letter D, to destroy the host cells? Correct answer here is letter C, to make copies of itself, no? So, yung pinaka-goal po niya ay hindi para kumain, hindi para maging sick ang host cell niya or yung host niya, no? That organism that it has been infected, hindi para magkasakit yung organism na yon, hindi para ma-destroy yung host cells, but yung pinaka-purpose niya is to make copies of itself. Dahil yung virus mo is non-living, no? So, hindi siya organism na matatawag, hindi siya considered an organism because it is not a cell. Wala siyang cellular mechanism, wala siyang cellular components, wala siyang nucleus, okay? So, yung meron lamang siya ay genetic material, no? So, it might be an RNA or a DNA. Meron lamang siyang strands, no, ng genetic material, and of course, meron lamang siyang cell membrane. Ganun lamang yung virus nyo. And so, for it to be able to make copies of itself para dumamit sila, para maka-infect na maraming tao, hindi naman yon yung goal nila. But of course, they make copies of themselves so that they can reproduce. No, what they do is they get inside the host cell and they take over the mechanism, no, the cellular machinery of the host cell. Now, idadagdag ko lamang to, no? This might come out in your test, in your Gen Ed, pero this might also be a bigger possibility that it will come out in your bio major. No? Sa bio major, there are 2 stages, there are 2 parts in the development of viruses. Again, we don't call this the viral life cycle dahil hindi po sila living. No? Your viruses are non-living entities. They are non-living entities. They only have their genetic material, so meron lamang po silang genetic material. This is your virus, no? So meron lamang silang genetic material. And of course, they also have their cell membrane. Now, there are 2 parts of the cycle of their production, no? The first cycle, or the first part, is called the lytic cycle, and the second part is called the lysogenic cycle. Now, what's the difference between these 2? Both of these cycles happen inside the host cell. Okay, so again, your viruses cannot reproduce if it does not infect a host, no? If it does not enter a host body, a host cell, it cannot reproduce dahil wala siyang machinery, wala siyang ribosomes, wala siyang nucleus, wala siyang mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, whatever, no? All these parts of your cell, generalized cell, wala yung virus mo niyan dahil non-living siya. And so what it does is, it infects a person, it goes inside the cell para po, of course, it can make copies of itself. Now, again, going back to the 2 parts that we have here, as I've mentioned, both of these happen inside the host cell's body, inside the host cell. Your lytic cycle here, this is a shorter cycle. Your lysogenic is a longer cycle. Your hint there is that your lytic, the term lytic is shorter than lysogenic. Okay? So yung lytic cycle mo dito, this is shorter than your lysogenic cycle. What happens here is that yung virus mo does not get conjuncted. Yung DNA ng virus mo ay hindi nag-merge, hindi nag-fuse sa DNA ng host cell, no? It still makes copies of itself, pero it is not using the DNA of its host cell. Ginagamit lamang niya yung the rest of the part of the cell of your host, no? And so what happens, because it does not use the DNA of the host cell, it does not really need the host cell. Kaya in this process here, in your lytic cycle, it kills the host cell, no? The host cell undergoes lysis. Pinapatay niya yung cell kasi hindi naman niya kailangan. Kailangan lamang niya mag-reproduce. Right after it reproduces, this is a shorter cycle nga, sabi ko, it would kill the host cell. Okay, so it kills the host cell. It is a shorter phase. Your DNA, the DNA of your virus, is not fused with the DNA of the host cell. Now, in your lysogenic cycle, this is the more efficient way of reproduction for your viruses, because here the DNA of your virus is merged with the DNA of the host cell. So naka-merge siya mismo sa DNA ng host cell mo, sa genetic information, genetic material ng host cell mo. And since it is merged with the host cell's DNA, it cannot kill the cell. Okay, so it cannot kill the cell. And so we say the lysogenic cycle is a longer cycle. And during this time, your virus is inactive. Okay, inactive in the sense that it does not kill the host cell. Okay, so those are the two parts of your viral cycle. Now, lytic, shorter. The virus's DNA is not merged, it's not combined with the DNA of your host cell, and so it kills the host cell. In your lysogenic cycle, it's a longer cycle. Your DNA, the DNA of your virus, is merged with the DNA of your host cell, and so it cannot kill the host cell. We say in your lysogenic cycle, your virus is inactive, your virus is dormant. Okay, but then of course both of these happen inside the host cell. Okay, so again, ang tamang sagot doon would be letter C, make copies of itself. Okay, so letter C po ang tamang sagot. Okay, hello po, Ma'am Dali Takardon. All right, now we go to number 9. What is the minimum time you should wash your hands for according to the WHO, to the World Health Organization? Is it letter A, 10 seconds, letter B, 15 seconds, letter C, 20 seconds, or letter D, 30 seconds? What's the correct answer? What do you think is the correct answer for question number 9? Number 9? Patay, ligwak, naligwak sila. Marami bang naligwak, no? Genocide yung previous item. Ano kaya yung tamang sagot? Letter C. Karamihang sagot dito sa Team YouTube ay letter C. Team Facebook, what is your answer for number 9? What is the minimum time, no? Minimum amount of time that you should wash your hands according to your WHO? Sabi ni DOH Secretary, 20 seconds daw. Sabi dito ni Sir Aladdin Calot. Okay, what do you think is the correct answer? Letter C. Karamihang sagot dito, letter C. Team Facebook, what's your answer? Again, those of you who are watching us on Facebook, you can send us your stars. Please do send us your stars so that we can give you your prizes, no, for our summer fever. Yung mga summer fever contestants natin, so mga sumali sa summer fever natin, make sure that you contact your members. No? Sana po ay nakapag-vault in na kayo, no? Nakapag-meeting na kayo. Because of course, it's very important so that you can prepare for your summer fever. Okay, letter C, letter C. Letter C, karamihang sagot. The correct answer here is letter C, 20 seconds. Ganyan din sabi sa health book, no? Sabi ni Sir Kenichi Lorbes. So according to WHO and maybe according to our DOH, it's 20 seconds. 20 seconds po is the correct answer. Okay, so it's very important that you take the minimum time of washing your hands. And of course, it's also very important that you wash your hands properly. Okay, proper washing of hands. And usually nga sabi kumanta daw ng dalawang happy birthday, no? So sing happy birthday twice. Okay, so you should be able to wash your hands very carefully and of course wash it properly, no? So on your screen here, you can see the proper technique, proper guidelines on how to wash your hands. Okay, so paikot muna, rub palms to palms, right palm over left dorsum with interlaced fingers and vice versa. So may pagganon pa pala, no? Hindi ko nagagawa tong ganyan, no? So usually ganun lang, rub it properly, palm to palm with fingers interlaced, back of fingers, opposing palms. Oh, may pagganon pa. Okay, may pagganto pa. Rotational rubbing. Parang pamasahe na to, no? Papunta na ng masahe. Okay, but of course, sabi ng WHO and your DOH, you should wash your hands properly. Correct time, no? Minimum is 20 seconds. And of course, with using your proper procedure. Okay, so letter C po ang ating tamang sagot. Now, we go to number 10. In science, what is known as the powerhouse of the cell? Is it letter A, nucleus, letter B, mitochondria, letter C, cytoplasm, letter D, cell membrane? What's the answer? Okay, what do you think is the correct answer? Oh, sabi ni Ma'am Wiesel Kwambot, dito sa amin, ma'am, kung papasok ka ng establishment, mabasa lang okay na, ganon. Ligwak na naman, sabi ni Sir Rodel Soriano. Sa atin nga, no, sa Pilipinas, mas stricto, no? So, merong mask, merong face shield, meron pa ring meron pa ring social distancing. Dito sa Amerika hindi na masyado, no? Wala na masyado nagma-mask. Wala never kaming nag-face shield. Walang nag-face shield dito. We have our face shields but we were not able to use it, no? Hindi din namin nagamit kasi wala din namang nag-face shield. Okay, so mask, yung iba ngayon hindi na nagma-mask. Okay, because of course marami nang nakapag-vaccine. I'm already done with my two shots for my vaccine. My husband and yung nanay ni Baby Rain, no, nakapag one shot na sila. So meron pa silang isang shot on the 2nd of May. Okay, so tapos na kaming tatlo for our flu, not flu shots, for our COVID shots. Okay, letter B. Letter B, Ma'am Pagrit po, BSEd, Social Science major, City University of Pasay, graduating students po. Hello, Sir Rustan. Sir Rustan pala, graduating pa lang. Congratulations in advance po, sir. Need kumita sa face shield, sabi ni Sir Cap. Okay, what's your answer? Letter B, Ma'am Chelien, maraming salamat po for sending 45 stars. Thank you so much for sending 45 stars. Okay, karamihan sagot dito, letter B ang inyong sagot. And of course, that would be correct. Okay, so B, mitochondria, that is the powerhouse of the cell because of course, that is where the energy of the cell, which we call ATP, is produced. Okay, so ATP, adenosine triphosphate, the energy currency of the cell is produced in your mitochondria, that is called the powerhouse of the cell. And of course, the process is known as cellular respiration. Okay, the cellular respiration. Now, let's take a look at your cell. Maraming salamat, Ma'am Angie Habagat Pinaaling. Ma'am, ang galing mo po. Thank you po. Okay, now, of course, this is your generalized cell, no? This is an example of your animal cell. Bakit natin alam na animal cell? Because, of course, wala siyang cell wall. Unlike your plant cell, hindi din siya rectangular, no? Hindi siya square. Unlike your plant cell, wala siyang chloroplasts, okay? Like your plant cell, green na parang magkatulad yung shape sa mitochondria, no? Wala siyang chloroplast where you can find your chlorophyll, no? At wala din siyang central vacuole, yung malaking vessel where you find the water in your plant cell. Okay, so this here is an example of your animal cell. Let's take a look at the different components of your cell. But before that, Again, remember, if there is a question in the let, which among these groups of cell parts can be found in all types of cells? Pag kunwari ganun yung question, no? Saan dito sa mga cell parts na to ang makikita sa lahat ng klase ng cell? Your answer would be cell membrane, genetic material, it might be DNA, it might be RNA, your ribosome, no, that makes your proteins, and of course cytoplasm, the gel-like component inside the cell. Okay, so again, those four components, those four parts can be seen in all types of cells: cell membrane or plasma membrane, cytoplasm, the gel-like component of the cell, genetic material can be DNA, RNA, and ribosome. Okay, the site for protein making, the site for protein synthesis. Okay, now going back to our structure here. Okay, so you have your cell here. Ang pinaka-importanting component dito ng cell mo would be the nucleus. Okay, the nucleus is the brain of the cell. Bakit the brain of the cell? Because this controls all of the processes inside the cell. Okay, so if you compare your cell, if you liken your cell to a school, your nucleus, the nucleus is like the principal. Okay, if your cell is the country, your nucleus is like the president. Okay, so again, the nucleus, that's the big component here, big circle, big spherical body inside the cell. Very important. It is the brain of the cell, controls all the processes in the cell. Also very important, it contains the genetic material in the cell. Okay, so yung DNA mo, if this is a eukaryotic cell, that means it has a nucleus. Okay, as seen in our picture here, the DNA material, your genetic material, can be found inside your nucleus. Okay? Now, inside your nucleus, meron kang tinatawag na nucleolus. Okay? This is your nucleolus right here. Sometimes there is going to be just one nucleolus. Other times there will be more than one nucleolus. Sometimes you use the term nucleoli. Okay, now this here is very important because this makes your ribosomes. Okay, itong ribosomes yung parang maliliit na circles mo dito. These are made in your nucleolus. Okay, now going out of the nucleus, you have your endoplasmic reticulum. This one here is your endoplasmic reticulum. This is a channel, para siyang stacks and coils of membranes. That is actually the passageway of materials in and out of the nucleus. Okay, so papunta ng nucleus and palabas ng nucleus, you use the endoplasmic reticulum for your materials to pass through. Okay, now there are two types for this: your rough ER or your RER and your smooth ER. This right here is your smooth ER. Okay, so this here is your smooth ER. This one right here is your rough ER. Okay? Now, tinawag siyang rough ER and smooth ER because of the difference in their appearance, no? Yung rough ER mo, tinawag siyang rough ER because if you try to examine this under the microscope, it would look rough. Okay? Makikita mong ano siya, hindi siya smooth, no? Magaspang siya. Bakit naging magaspang siya? It is because of the presence of your ribosomes. Ito mga period mo dito, yung mga circles mo dito, maliliit na spherical bodies mo dito. These are your ribosomes. As I've mentioned, your ribosomes are made in your nucleolus. Ginagawa sila sa nucleolus. And then they can be found attached to your rough ER, or some of them can also be found in the cytoplasm. Okay, so your ribosome is very important because this is where your proteins are made. Okay, dyan ginagawa yung proteins. Your proteins are very important. Our traits, our genetic information, these are all proteins. No? Made up sila ng amino acid sequence mo. Okay, so that's your rough ER. Now, since it has ribosomes, yung function ng rough ER mo ay the same sa function ng ribosome mo. It also makes proteins. No? Gumagawa din siya ng proteins. On the other hand, yung smooth ER mo, smooth nga siya dahil wala siyang ribosomes. Wala siyang magaspang na part na ribosome, no? And the purpose of your smooth ER is for making of lipids. Gumagawa naman siya ng lipids. And another purpose of your smooth ER is detoxification. So, kinukuha niya yung lahat ng toxin sa cell, no? Kinukuha niya yung poison sa cell. So, those are your ERs, your endoplasmic reticulum, rough ER, and smooth ER. Okay, now going out still, you also have your Golgi apparatus here or your Golgi body. Okay, Golgi apparatus or Golgi body. This right here is also very important. This is the gift wrapping section of your cell. Okay, that's the gift wrapping section of your cell. If there is a product inside the cell that's going to be transported out of the cell, if the product needs to be modified, if there will be some changes that the product would have to undergo, then your Golgi apparatus, your Golgi body is going to do that. And of course, the Golgi body is going to wrap the substance in what we call vesicle. Itong vesicle mo. Okay, so that's the vesicle. That's where the substances are wrapped. Okay, so component siya ng membranes ng inyong Golgi apparatus, no? And then of course, i-wrap niya yung material. Eventually, your vesicle will be pinched off from your Golgi apparatus. It is going to merge into your cell membrane, plasma membrane, and whatever material it is that needs to be expelled outside will be expelled outside of the cell. Okay, so that's your Golgi apparatus, the gift wrapping section of the cell. Now, again, I've mentioned your vesicle. Ito yung mga carrying bodies. No? Ito yung mga packages from your Golgi apparatus. One very special type of vesicle is your lysosome. Yung lysosome mo, this is a type of vesicle, but this right here contains digestive enzymes. Meron siyang digestive enzymes. And so, pag merong parte ng cell na hindi na kailangan, merong parte ng cell na damage, at kailangang i-digest na lang, kailangang tunawin, dinadala siya sa lysosome. Okay, so dinadala siya sa lysosome at tinutunaw. Alright, so that's your lysosome, a special type of your vesicle. Your vacuole right here, it can contain crystals, it can contain different substances. In your plants, as I've mentioned, in your plants, the vacuoles are very big and usually they're called central vacuole dahil dyan nakastore yung tubig. Okay, yung water storage in plant mo, that's your vacuole. Now, centriole here, this is a pair of macaroni-looking substances or macaroni-looking structures in your animal cell. This right here is used during cellular division, during sa mitosis nyo, where you see your spindle fiber, yung parang sinulid. Sinulid ba? Tama. Parang thread, no? Thread-like structure where your chromosomes are attached. Yung thread-like structure na yon, your spindle fibers actually originate from your centriole. Diyan sila nanggaling sa centriole. Now, mitochondria, this was our answer. This is the powerhouse of the cell, no? So, if you are living in Iloilo, your mitochondria is like Ileco. Okay? Sa Iloilo City, it's like more power, no? Sa NCR naman, Manila, Meralco. Para siyang Meralco kasi gumagawa siya ng energy in the form of ATP, and we call that process cellular respiration. Okay? So that's your mitochondria. And of course, right here, yung gel-like component, kung saan silang lahat, no? You'd call that the cytoplasm. And of course, yung boundary ng cell mo, that would be called the cell membrane or plasma membrane. Lumalabas po ito sa LET, no? So, make sure that you know the different parts of your cell, generalized parts of your cell. Make sure that you know their specific functions. Okay, I've just talked about that. Okay, so again, make sure po na nakikinig and of course, you know what the correct answer is if you see this in the lab. Okay, so again, the correct answer there would have been mitochondria, letter B. Okay, now we go to number 11. 11, which athlete has won the most Olympic medals? Is it letter A, Carl Lewis? Letter B, Usain Bolt or Usain Bolt? Letter C, Kuruvi Vijay? Or letter D, Michael Phelps? Thank you, Ma'am Maria Lucy Scarlett, for sending 45 stars. Maraming salamat po. Okay, people, what do you think is the correct answer for number 11? 11 na po tayo. What's your answer for question 11? Outs, ligwak, sabi ni Ma'am Jack Cabato. Okay lang yan. Stars goal, people. We still have our stars goal of 10,000 stars. Go ahead and please do send us your stars. Hindi pa po tayo nakaka 1/3 sa ating stars goal. That's for our summer fever. Okay, so again, please do send us your stars. Maraming salamat for those of you who already sent us your stars. 11, your answer is, okay, karamihang sagot dito, letter D. May fine ng 500 pag walang face shield, ganun? Oh my gosh. Grabe, may penalty pa palang 500 pesos dyan. Mm-hmm. Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for number 11? Which among these athletes here has the most Olympic medals? Okay, correct answer here, of course, would be letter D. That's letter D. Michael Phelps. Let's take a look at your slides now. So this is Michael Phelps. He's an American swimmer. Okay, so sport is swimming. He's from the US. Total medals of 28. Okay, so 28 medals siya. It's gold. Gold niya at 23. My God, no? So 23 gold medals, 3 silver medals, and 2 bronze medals. Okay, so that's Michael Phelps, the most decorated Olympic athlete. No? Ma'am Charity Jane Omania, first timer to join live dito sa Team Facebook. Hello po. Welcome, welcome. So that would be Michael Phelps with 28 gold. Okay, so this right here, this is your choice A, no? Ito yung choice A nyo. This is Carl Lewis. He's also American. His sport was athletics. Okay, so running, tracks, ganun siya. Yung medals niya, total medals are 10. Okay, so gold medal niya, 9. And silver medal niya ay 1. Okay, so mas marami pa rin dihamak itong kay Michael Phelps, no? And the rest of them, Usain Bolt, of course, he also has 9 gold medals. Okay, so Usain Bolt here, track and field, yung kanyang sport, no? Gold medal siya for 100 meters, 200 meters, 4 by 100 meter relay. The first athlete in history to win 100 and 200 golds and the 4 by 100 relay in 3 straight Olympics. Okay, so that's Usain Bolt. He's Jamaican. Okay, so Jamaican naman siya. Now, yung choice nyo ay hindi po siya athlete, no? Siya po ay isang actor. So this is si Vijay. Isa po siyang Indian actor. Okay, so hindi siya ang tamang sagot. Of course, the correct answer was Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps. Okay, now we go to number 12. Which is the smallest bone in the human body? Is it letter A, malleus, letter B, hammer, letter C, stapes, letter D, anvil? What's the answer? Okay. So sabi ni Sir Kenneth Lorbes, mas marami kasi yung event sa swimming, kaya ganun. Pero hindi naman excuse yun, no? Kesyo mas maraming events kasi nga, magaling talaga siya, no? Imagine mo yung medals niya na gold 23, no? So okay lang kung lahat bronze, no? Pero siya 23 gold medals. Okay, so para siyang Shokoy. Alam na alam to ni Sir Kenneth kasi nga nag-training siya sa Tokyo, di ba Sir Kenneth? Sabi ni Sir Kenneth kanina, nag-training siya sa Tokyo. Maraming salamat, Sir Kenneth Cabanas. Sabi dito ni Sir Kenneth, thank you for the knowledge, ma'am. Watching from Davao de Oro. Hello po, welcome. Number 12, what's the answer? Okay, karamihang sagot dito sa Team YouTube ay letter C. Dito sa ating Team Facebook, may A, may D. Okay. What do you think is the correct answer for question number 12? Which is the smallest bone in the human body? Karamihan dito sa ating Team Facebook ay letter A, no? Letter A ang sinasagot. Correct answer here would be letter C. That's your stapes. Okay, so C stapes. I will be talking about this in just a while. No? Sir Lowell Belbes, maraming salamat po for sending 45 stars. Thank you so much. Now, your malleus and hammer, parehas lamang po yan. No? So, malleus mo dito yung scientific term, scientific word, yung hammer mo would be the usual term that we use. Okay? So, parehas lamang po sila. And so, those cannot be the correct answer. A mo or B cannot be the correct answer. Your anvil is another part of the small bones, 3 small bones. You can all find this in your ear. But of course, the smallest would be the stapes. Okay, let's take a look at your slide. Okay, so these are considered the 3 small bones in our body. They can all be found in your ear. Your malleus, as I've mentioned, this is also called the hammer. Okay, so pareho lamang yung hammer mo at malleus. Your incus, this is also called the anvil. So yung choice D mo, anvil or incus. And of course, stapes, that's the correct answer. Another term for stapes would be stirrup. Okay, so stirrup is stirrup or STIRRUP. Okay, so po pwedeng stirrup, yung makita nyo sa sa let, po pwede din naman stapes yung makita nyo, okay? So, smallest bone, it should be the stapes or the stirrup, okay? Incus, again, another term would be the anvil. Malleus, another term would be the hammer, okay? So, parehas lamang po sila. So, stapes or stirrup, that is the correct answer. Now, we go to number 13. Increase in muscle mass due to heavy weight training is called, letter A, muscular hypertrophy. Letter B, muscular hypertrophy. Letter C, muscular atrophy. Or letter D, hematoma. What's the answer? Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for question 13? Nasa 13 na po tayo. Okay, which one do you think is the correct answer for question number 13? Question 13. Which one is the correct answer for question 13? Nasa 13 na po tayo, ladies and gentlemen. What is the correct answer? Which one do you think is the correct answer for question number 13? Alright, now karamihang sagot dito sa ating team Facebook. Oh, may A, may B, may C. Mas marami yung letter B, no? Maraming letter B dito sa ating team Facebook. What about team YouTube? Team YouTube natin, what's your answer for this question? Question number 13, karamihang sagot din ay letter B. Correct answer here is letter B, no? Muscular hyper. Hyper means getting bigger, getting higher, no? Higher or bigger. So hypertrophy, that's the correct answer. Sabi dito, increase in muscle mass. Okay, so increase, getting higher, that's hypertrophy. Hypotrophy, this is the opposite. Muscular hypotrophy, this is the opposite. Okay, so lumiliit. Yung muscular atrophy mo naman, walang pakiramdam yung muscle mo, no? Parang ikaw manhid na minsan. Okay, so muscular atrophy, letter C. Hematoma naman, ito ay pasa, no? So bruise or pasa, that would be your hematoma. So again, letter B, ang ating correct choice dito, muscular hypertrophy. Now we go to number 14. Joseph's lunch at a restaurant costs $13. He leaves the waiter a $17 tip. What is the total cost of the lunch? Okay, what do you think is the correct choice for question number 14? What is the answer? Okay, what's the answer for number 14? All right, question number 14 na po tayo. What do you think is the correct answer for question number 14? Okay, so sabi dito, yung lunch ni Joseph at a restaurant costs $13. He leaves the waiter a $17 tip. Or a 17% tip, sorry. What is the total cost of the lunch? Maraming salamat, Ma'am Eileen Magaso. Okay, for sending 75 stars. Maraming salamat po. Sana all may talent sa paghuhula, sabi ni Sir Jeremy Romero. Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for 14? Letter D. Karamihang sagot dito, letter D. Aba, si Sir Alvi Medalyada, D, sigurado. Okay, now going back to your problem here, Joseph's lunch at a restaurant costs $13. He leaves the waiter a $17 17% tip. Okay, what is the total cost of the lunch? Of course, what we do is we get 17% of 13, then we add that to 13. Okay, the original price that he paid for his lunch, because he also paid 17% as part of his tip. Okay, so what we do is, again, as mentioned, we will be adding to $13 the original price of the lunch. the 17% of 13. Okay, so we get 17% of 13. Again, in math, whenever you say of, whenever you mention the term of, that simply means times. Okay, so you multiply 13 by 17%. We convert 17% into its decimal form. No, so you simply move the decimal point 2 times to the left. And of course, you get the percentage sign. Okay, so that would give us 0.17. Okay, so 13 times 0.17 would give us 2.21. And we add that to the original price of 13. And so the correct answer is letter D. That's 15.21. Okay, 15.21 is the correct choice. Okay, 15.21 po ang tamang sagot. All right, now we go to number 15. Select the option that is related to the third term in the same way as the second term is related to the first term. Is it, no, sweet is to bitter, as interesting is to blank. Is it letter A, book? Letter B, boring? Letter C, story? Letter D, unusual? Okay, what do you think is the correct answer? Ano po ang inyong sagot for number 15? This is analogy and logic. Okay, if you're watching us on Facebook, again, please don't forget to like this video. For those of you still have not liked this video, mag-like na po kayo ng ating video on YouTube. And of course, for those of you who are watching us on Facebook, also like our video, start a watch party, tag your friends, share our video. And of course, send us your stars if you can share your stars. No? Mag-send po kayo ng ating stars. Of course, the funds that we are going to get from your stars, we'll be using those for our summer fever. Letter B, what's your answer? Letter B yung answer, no? 15B. Karamihang sagot dito ay B. Again, people on YouTube, please do like this video. Okay, wala pa tayong like sa ating video. Kukunti pa lamang yung nag-like. Mag-like na po kayo sa ating video. If you're watching us on YouTube, YouTubers, Team YouTube, mag-like na po kayo. Okay, sweet is to bitter, as interesting is to blank. Now, again, as I've mentioned before, kung ano yung relationship between the first two terms, ganun din dapat yung magiging relationship between the last two terms that we have here. Okay, so ano ba yung relationship ng sweet and bitter mo, no? We can say that sweet and bitter here are opposites. Okay, they're antonyms. Antonyms sila, opposites. So sweet and bitter, they are opposites. And so we are going to look for the opposite, the antonym of interesting. Okay, so ang antonym ba ng interesting ay book? Is it boring? Is it story? Or is it unusual? And so, of course, you know that the correct answer would be letter B, boring. Okay, so boring is the correct answer here. Again, for you to answer this correctly, you look at the first two terms and determine their relationship. That should also be the same relationship that you have here for your last two terms. Okay, so letter B, boring. That is the correct choice. Okay, now we go to number 16. Who is known as the father of medicine? Is it letter A, Charles Darwin? Letter B, Isaac Newton? Letter C, Hippocrates? Or letter D, Aristotle? Okay, what is the correct answer? Team YouTube, please like our video. Please do like our video if you're watching us on YouTube. Aba, si Kap, sa relationship, dapat hindi boring. Okay, dapat lang, no? Kasi pag boring ay magkakasawaan kayo. So, dapat iba-iba, no? Dapat, marami kang personalities, multiple personalities pala na naloka ka na pala, no? Minsan, innocente ka, no? Minsan, wild ka. Minsan, bugnutin, no? Minsan naman, galit ka, no? So, iba-iba dapat yung inyong emotion. Iba-iba yung ginagawa, no? Para hindi mabore ang inyong partner. Ma'am Marites Obis Villarreal, thank you po for sending 50 stars. Maraming salamat po. Again, we still have our stars goal of 10,000 stars. Hindi pa po tayo nakaka 1/3 sa ating stars goal. So please do send us your stars if you can, so that we can help your kaguro, no? Yung mga sasali sa ating summer fever. My ex-boyfriend is boring. Aba, binash yung ex-boyfriend, Bang Jen? Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for number 16? Who is known as the father of medicine? Hinahanap natin dito, father of medicine. Okay? Correct answer here is letter C, Hippocrates. Okay, so Hippocrates, that's the correct answer. He's considered the father of medicine. Kaya meron tayong tinatawag na Hippocratic Oath, no? Para sa ating mga doctors. The Hippocratic Oath is an is an oath of ethics historically taken by physicians. It is one of the most widely known of Greek medical texts in its original form. It requires a new physician to swear by a number of healing gods to uphold specific ethical standards. So ito yung ethical standards ng ating mga doktor, no? Your Hippocratic Oath. Galing nga sa pangalang Hippocrates. Okay? So hindi sila hindi po pwedeng hindi nila gamutin yung isang tao dahil kaaway nila yung isang tao, no? Hindi po pwedeng hindi gamutin ang isang criminal. Okay? Because so by swearing, by making their oath, sabi nila, they need to always uphold the specific ethical standards. Isa na nga doon is to save lives. Okay? So yan yung pinaka-goal nila, to save lives. So hindi po pwede kahit na kaaway mo siya, kahit na criminal siya, o kahit nga nasa eroplano, nasa jeep, no, pag may nanganak, and you are part of the medical field, ay kailangan mong tulungan ang isang tao. Okay? So kahit na madumihan ka, kahit na mahirapan ka dahil nga magpapaanak ka sa jeep, no? Kailangan mo pa rin gawin because of your Hippocratic oath. Okay? So that's your answer, letter C. Your letter A, Charles Darwin, he is known as the father of evolution. Okay, so Lolo Charles nyo, yung nagsabi na galing ka sa apes, no? So sa apes ka galing, sa unggoy ka daw galing. Okay, that's Charles Darwin. Isaac Newton naman, he is of course known as one of the best physicists we've ever had, no? One of the best scientists we've ever had. He gave us his 3 laws, no? So laws of motion mo, your law of inertia, your law of acceleration, and the law of action reaction or law of interaction. Okay, so yun yung tatlong laws of motion ni Isaac Newton. Okay, very interesting to note. Isaac Newton was a very short man. Okay, so barely 5 foot, no? 5 feet lang yung height niya, no? Barely, hindi pa siya lumagpas, hindi pa siya nakaapak yata sa 5 feet. And of course, also very interesting, he has never had a relationship. Okay, so he's never had a wife, he's never had a girlfriend because, of course, he was very busy. Okay, he came from a family of farmers. His father, his mother wanted him to also become a farmer, but he wanted to study. And so he went to study, he became a scientist, but because of that, he became very busy, never had any relationship. And so we say Lolo Isaac Newton died a virgin. Okay, he died a virgin. Okay, so letter D, si Aristotle naman, of course, you know him to be one of the 3 very famous Greek philosophers, along with Plato and Socrates. Okay, so Aristotle, he also attempted some explanations, now some concepts in science, but of course, he was not really a scientist, and so many of his explanations were not really scientific. No? So he was a Greek philosopher, as that's Aristotle. But of course, letter C, Hippocrates here is the correct choice. Now, number 17, a student rolled toy cars down a ramp on 2-tile floor, wood floor, and carpet. Which of the following forces was he testing? Is it letter A, gravity? Letter B, gravity and magnetism? Letter C, magnetism and friction? Letter D, friction? Which one do you think is the correct answer? Aba, Sir Kineche, hindi daw nag-change oil si Lolo Isaac Newton. Okay, namatay na virgin. Sayang yung lahi. Sana all virgin. Boring ng life ni Newton. Hindi nakaramdam ng kilig. Okay? So, sayang si Lolo Isaac Newton, no? Kasi aral ng aral hanggang sa hindi na nga nakakita. Kaya nga ang tawag dito, sabi nga nila, before you go to the teaching field, no, bago ka maging licensed teacher, bago ka talaga magturo sa public school, for example, you should already have a boyfriend, a girlfriend, you should already have a spouse, dahil once you start teaching, wala ka ng oras. Okay? So, you'd be devoted to your job, you'd be married to your job, so dapat unahan mo na, no? Magkaroon ka muna ng boyfriend, girlfriend, inspiration, your spouse, bago ka sumabak sa public teaching. Okay, 17, what's your answer? 17, okay, karamihang sagot dito sa ating Team YouTube ay letter D. Sa ating Team Facebook, karamihang sagot nila ay letter C. Okay, so meron ka ditong student na niro-roll niya yung toy car down a ramp. Okay, parehas lang yung ramp, no? Of course. And papunta sa isang tile floor, isang wood floor, and isang carpet. So what do you think is he trying to study? Is it letter A, gravity? Letter B, gravity and magnetism? Letter C, magnetism and friction? Or letter D, friction. Okay, now as you can see, wala namang mention ng magnetism dito. So lahat ng choices nyo na may magnetism, X na kaagad yan. Walang mention ng magnetism. And so this cannot be our choice. Wala namang sinabing may magnet siya ginamit, no? And so walang magnetism dito sa ating situation. We cannot choose B nor C. Okay, now we are left with just gravity and friction. The correct answer here, of course, would be letter D, friction ito. Okay, so gumamit siya ng tile floor, ng wood floor, and carpet, iba-ibang surfaces, so that he can see how friction would affect the speed or the acceleration of the car. Okay, so that's friction that he is studying, not gravity, dahil pare-parehas lang naman silang elevated, no? Pare-parehas lang naman silang na-roll down a ramp. Wala namang sinabi na yung isa ay flat surface or yung isa ay ibang degree, yung pagkaka-tilt mo ng inyong ramp. Okay, so friction dito yung tamang sagot. Overthink na naman, sabi ni Sir Kinechi, no? Iba-iba yung klase ng surface niya, merong madulas, merong wood floor, at merong carpet, of course, na hindi masyadong mabilis yung movement, no? Because, of course, we know that friction is reduced by making your surface shiny, by making your surface smooth, no? So if you have this as your three different materials, three different types of floors, you know that sa tile floor mo, mas magiging mahaba yung distance na na-travel ng car after it rolls on the floor, no? Yung wood floor mo, it might be in the middle, and of course your carpet would be the one with the shortest distance traveled, because of course your carpet has lots of friction. Okay, so pag mas madulas, mas less yung friction. Okay, so pag mas madulas, mas less yung friction. Kaya ginagamitan ng lubricant, no, para hindi masakit, para less yung friction. For example, no, kung ano-ano na naman naiisip nyo sa paggamit ng lubricant para madulas, no, para hindi masakit. Change oil na naman ba to, no? For example, sa inyong pintuan, di ba? Sa pintuan tuloy, sa gate, di ba? Sa gate nyo, pag binubuksan mo yung gate mo, tapos mahirap buksan, no? Kasi ano na siya, may kalawang, marami na siyang kalawang, no? Maingay yung gate mo pag binubuksan, gumagano na yung gate mo. What you do ay lalagyan mo siya ng lubricant, no? So usually lalagyan mo siya ng used oil. Ganon din yung ginagawa sa bomba, yung bomba niyo, yung water pump, no? Yung poso. Okay? If it's also having a difficult time because of the friction, no, ginagawan din siya ng paraan, nilalagyan din siya ng oil. Okay? So again, using lubricants would make it smoother, would make it less difficult to move. Okay? Mas smooth yung movement, no? Hindi siya magiging masakit, or hindi siya magiging rough yung movement mo. Mas mabilis yung movement mo pag less yung friction, dahil smooth yung tiles mo, dahil smooth yung floor mo. Natatawa ako. Okay? So again, your answer would be letter D, friction. Yung tamang sagot dito. Lagyan ng oil, no? Sana all daw lagyan ng oil. Okay, now we go to number 18. Number 18 dito, you pick a marble from this bag. What is the probability you will not choose either a black or white marble? Is it letter A, 3/5? Letter B, 9/100? Letter C, 1/10? Or letter D, 2/5? What's the answer for question 18? Ang daming nakarelate sa change oil, ah. Alam nyo, ah. Okay, what do you think is the correct answer? Lagyan ng gas? Pampadulas din ba yung gas? Lawayan daw bago ipasok. Sabi ni Sir Viodolo Baig, lawayan daw muna bago ipasok. Tapos naka-parenthesis, karayom. Okay, karayom. Tama naman, no? Karayom ba? O sinulid? Sinulid, Sir Viod. Okay, so lawayan muna yung sinulid bago ipasok doon sa butas ng karayom. Okay, what's your answer for number 18? Letter D. Letter D yung sagot ninyo sa number 18. Dito sa ating Team YouTube, letter C ang karamihang sagot. Okay, letter C karamihang sagot dito sa ating Team YouTube. Dito naman sa ating Team Facebook, karamihang sagot ay letter D. Okay, letter D is your answer. Okay, the probability you will not choose either a black or a white. Looking at your bag here, meron kang marbles na white, meron ka ding marbles na black. Ang sabi dito, what is the probability that you will not choose either of this? Okay, you will not choose any, or you will not choose black or white. Okay, and so the correct answer here, you have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 marbles. Okay, so you have a total of 10 marbles. And of course, yung sinasabing probability dito hinahanap natin is this one right here. Okay, so this one right here. Okay, yung hindi solid yung color. Okay, so meron kang chance na 4 out of 10. Okay, so that's 4 out of 10. Reducing this, or using the simplest form for this, you can just divide this by their GCF, no? GCF of 4 and 10, of course, that would be 2. Diba? So 2 over 2. 4 divided by 2, of course, would be 2. And 10 divided by 2 is 5. Okay, so your correct answer here would be letter D, 2/5. Okay, so letter D, 2/5 po ang tamang sagot. Tama yung 2/5 dahil ito lang yung makukuha mo. Ito yung kukunin mo. Dahil hindi daw black or white. Okay, hindi black or hindi white. So 2/5 is the correct answer. Letter D. Now we go to number 19, second to the last question. Ang kanyang kaibigan ay mahilig kumain ng lugaw. Ay, ayan yung lugaw. Ayon sa kanilang pagkakasunod, ang kaibigan at lugaw ay halimbawa ng salitang letter A, tambalan, inuulit. Letter B, may lapi, payak. Letter C, inuulit, payak. Letter D, payak, tambalan. Tambalan ito, hindi tamabalan. Okay? What do you think is the correct choice? Okay, essential ba yung lugaw o hindi? Sabi ni Harry Roque, no? Ay, hindi pala si Harry Roque, yung isang spokesperson ba yon? Pagkain ba ang lugaw? Yung lugaw, hindi daw pagkain. Okay, now number 19, ang kanyang kaibigan ay mahilig kumain ng lugaw. Ayon sa kanilang pagkakasunod, ang kaibigan, mga salitang kaibigan at lugaw ay halimbawa ng salitang ano? Is it letter A, tambalan, inuulit. Letter B, may lapi, payak. Letter C, inuulit, payak. Letter D, payak, tambalan. Okay, what do you think is the correct answer? Tamang sagot dito would be may lapi, payak. Bakit may lapi, payak? Ang inyong kaibigan, ang salitang kaibigan, of course, ay may lapi. Okay, ito ay may unlapi at hulapi. Okay, yung root word mo dito, salitang ugat ay ibig, at meron kang unlaping ka at hulaping an. Okay, so that's may lapi. Ang lugaw mo naman, of course, ay payak. Okay, payak na to. Wala naman siyang lapi, no? Hindi siya may lapi. And so, your answer be may lapi at payak. Okay, may lapi at payak. Letter B po ang ating tamang sagot. Hindi payak, tambalan. Yung kaibigan mo naman hindi payak, hindi din tambalan itong kaibigan na word, hindi din inuulit itong kaibigan na word, no? And so, correct answer here would be letter B. Okay, and the last one is, last item for today. Ito ay salitang tambalan, ang ibig sabihin ay babaeng nasa bukid. Bukid pala to. Bukid to, hindi bugid Nasa bukid ang bahay. Anong tawag sa isang babaeng nasa bukid ang bahay? Is it letter A, dalagang bukid? Letter B, mahinhing dalaga? Letter C, dalagang Pilipina? Or letter D, higad girl? Okay, what's the answer? Lugaw is life sa amin sa probinsya. Pag kulang bigas, lugaw is life. Si Kim Chu at si Lugaw ay magkaibigan. Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for number 20? What do you call someone? Isang babaeng nasa bukid ang bahay. Okay, so letter A, dalagang bukid. Letter B, mahinhing dalaga. Letter C, dalagang Pilipina. Or letter D, higad girl. Makati girl. Ano ba yung Makati girl? Hindi ko alam yung Makati girl. Bago ba yung Makati girl na yan? Okay, you're of course answering letter A. Okay, and of course that is the correct choice. Okay, letter A, dalagang bukid. Hindi po dalagang Pilipina, hindi din naman higad girl, no? Hindi din mahinhing dalaga. Okay, so letter A, dalagang bukid is the correct answer. Okay, letter letter A is the correct choice. Okay, so dalagang bukid, that is the correct choice. And that ends tonight's live stream. And of course, we are coming back tomorrow, no? So tomorrow po, 6 p.m. pa rin tayo sa mga na late today, no? Do not forget, tomorrow we are going to start at 6 p.m. and that is going to be for your professional education. So 20 items professional education. All right, let's end our activities with our closing prayer. Please join me in our closing prayer.
Lord, thank you po at natapos ang aming review sa oras na ito. Pagpalain niyo po ang Gurong Pinoy International. Sana mas lalong lumago at lumawak pa ang gawain na ito. Salamat sa mga ginagawa ni Ma'am Mek at Sir Ram para tulungan po kami na matupad ang aming mga pangarap. Kalakip po sa aming mga panalangin ang pag-iingat mo sa amin ngayong bagong linggo. Panginoon, maging mabunga po nawa ang aming mga araw. Sa pangalan ni Jesus, na aming Panginoon at tagapagligtas, ito po ang aming sama-samang dalangin. Amen.
Amen. All right, so that ends our discussion tonight. And of course, we are coming back tomorrow, as I've mentioned, at 6 p.m. That's going to be for our Prof Ed discussion, okay? Please make sure that you follow us on our Facebook page, no? Para po sa ating schedule. And of course, do subscribe to our YouTube channel. This has been the 94th video sa ating live stream na playlist, okay? So I will see you tomorrow night. This has been Coach Mek of Gurong Pinoy. And of course, I'm leaving you with the saying, malit man na butil ng mga kaalaman, ang dulo nito ay malaking kaginawaan. Maraming salamat. Good night.